As we have now completed the identification of the piece of land, we have the building design in place, and also we have our layout of equipments. Now with everything in place, now is the time where I want to convey this entire information in a way that is clearly articulating the layout to stakeholders who are not familiar with 3D CAD. But most of us are definitely familiar with one thing, I must say. We have played video games once in a while in our lifetime, and the experience that I am going to show you in this part of the session is about creating a game like environment from our design. What you're seeing on screen right now is 3ds Max Interactive, and in 3ds Max Interactive, using a character template, I have created a small game which has a character there who can be manipulated with the keys on your keyboard or with your mouse, the way you do in a game. Now I intend to bring our building design and our factory layout in this environment and interact with these exactly in the same way I would interact with the game. Now here I have 3ds Max Interactive on the right hand side, which I showed you very quickly by creating a small gaming experience. On the right hand side is it is open, and on the left hand side I have the factory layout created by my colleague Kirti, opened in 3ds Max. Now we have the two kept side by side because I want to show you the interoperability between the two. Now I have used a connection between 3ds Max and 3ds Max Interactive to directly send data from the window on the left hand side, which is my creation tool, to my gaming tool, which is the one on the right hand side, with just a click of a button. Now why I am using this method is because I am bringing in the factory layout data first, and then I intend to bring the building data. But I don't want to go about placing these elements manually and making them correctly located with respect to each other. I want to use the coordinate system that these files have to be able to co-locate them correctly. Hence, I am using the method that I showed you, a direct link between 3ds Max and 3ds Max Interactive. Now the factory layout, which I sent from 3ds Max over to 3ds Max Interactive, is in place. It is all there. And let me just go about and test with my character. But I see that the character is really not standing on a ground and is nowhere near my equipment. That is because there is no floor on which he can stand. There is no element that can support him. So I'm going to use a feature in 3ds Max Interactive that allows me to create objects. In this case, it is a plane, and the plane has all the elements of gravity. I drop in a plane and I use few manipulation tools, such as in this case the scaling tool, and I make it approximately of the size I require. It is a floor that is beneath my equipment. And as I place it, one thing that you would notice is how automatically the shadows were created and cast on the plane. Now let's test the level again. And this time I see that the character is standing firmly on the ground, and I'm manipulating him with the keys on my keyboard and making him move across the factory, across the shop floor. As I move among the equipment, I want to test out one thing. Can he really behave like a real human being? By that, I mean, can he climb stairs? Can he stop at equipment? Let's see. I am moving him towards a mezzanine floor which has a few stairs, and I intend to test whether he can walk on the stairs and climb on the mezzanine floor. Well, unfortunately, as I move him, he goes right through the stairs. So I just have to carry out just one step to address this. I open the factory in what is known as the unit editor, and I select the mesh elements for my mezzanine floor, which consists of a few stairs and the mezzanine floor itself. I select all of them one by one and create something what is known as a physics actor, or in this case a composite physics actor. I don't intend to create each one of them as a separate physics based element but as a composite element. So that's why I created a composite physics actor. What is a physics actor? It has the elements of physics. It follows the laws of physics. Once I have done this, I close the unit editor and save my changes. Now we are back in the factory and let's test the outcome once again. But before that, I want to be very sure where I start in the game. And for this purpose, I am leveraging a helper object known as the player start. So I am picking up the player start from the create menu and placing it just right in front of the mezzanine floor. So that when I start the game next, I start right in front of the mezzanine floor. So let's test it out. There you go. I am standing right next to the stairs, and now let me walk him and see whether the physics is working or not. There you go. He is actually climbing the stairs, but I noticed that as he climbs up, there is a bar which the designer perhaps did not consider removing. But nevertheless, since we are in a gaming environment, this character has game-like functions, and I can press the space button on my keyboard to make him jump and right over the stairs. That is what he did. And now, after looking at what's there on the mezzanine floor and around it, he jumped back on the floor. And now he's taking a stroll on the floor. And subsequently, I am also doing a small fly through. Now, this is an environment from which I can generate output for various devices. Let's say I have to share this information with a customer or a stakeholder who wants to review the factory floor, who wants to see the placement of equipment and see them in life size as well. I can generate an output that is compatible with a virtual reality device right from the software. So I can create an output for my mobile phone, be it a iPhone or an Android device, or even a virtual reality device. Next, let me bring in the building and let's see how it integrates with the shop floor in the same environment. And using the same method as earlier, I send across the information from 3ds Max directly to the open window in 3ds Max Interactive. And I really don't need to worry about the co-placement of the building with respect to the layout. Since this was taken care in the design tools of Revit and Inventor. As we bring in this information in 3ds Max Interactive, the co-location or co-placement of these two elements is taken care of automatically. I directly go about testing, and I see that I am on the shop floor, but this time with the building over my head. And I see that I can now walk in a real building, but as you see, there are not a lot of lights that have been put on. The next thing I would do, perhaps to complete this workflow, is add a light similar to the one that you see right now.